Alright, hi guys. Tonight we're going to take a look at continue with characteristics of quadratic functions, but now we're going to look at characteristics of quadratic functions in vertex form. So we've been using standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c, and tonight we're going to take a look at vertex form, which is y equals a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. So let's go ahead and get started. So standard form, as I said, of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c. Vertex form is this one here, a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. So the equation of a parabola can be expressed in either standard form or vertex form, as shown in the picture below. The standard form of a parabola's equation is, again, expressed as this right here, ax squared plus bx plus c. The vertex form of the parabola's equation is expressed as y equals the quantity a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. And here's the part you want to pay attention to. So why do we call it vertex form? Because h and k is the vertex of this parabola. That's why we call it vertex form. So if it's in vertex form, we can just figure out what h is, what k is, and then we have the vertex. And it's as simple as that. So that's why we call it vertex form. Okay, so for questions 1 and 2, we're going to use the vertex form to find the vertex. So keep in mind that the formula or the equation for a parabola in vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So when we're looking for the vertex of this parabola, we have a plus 3. So we started out with a minus h. So what number can we put in here to end up with a positive 3? So if we plug in a negative 3, a negative 3 will give us a positive 3. So our h value of our vertex is negative 3. And our k value is just what we see. Our k value is 4. So our vertex is negative 3, 4. In question number 2, find the vertex of this parabola. So we're starting out with a negative h, and we end up with a negative 3. So that means our h is equal to 3, and our k is equal to 4. So think about when we did, when we were graphing translations, if it was x plus 4, or x plus 3, it went to the left 3, and if it was x minus 3, it went to the right 3. So when it's inside parentheses, you have to think the opposite. So in question 3, we are going to change this equation into standard form and identify the y-intercept and the x-intercept. But real quick, let's identify the vertex. So remember, it's a minus 2, so we have to think the opposite. It's a plus 2, and then a minus 3 stays the same. Inside parentheses is the opposite. So when we change this to standard form, x minus 2 squared, we're going to do first, and that's going to give us x squared minus 4x plus 4, and we'll bring down that minus 3. Then when we combine like terms, we get x squared minus 4x plus 1. So that is the standard form and the vertex form of the same parabola. So how are we going to factor that? Well, we certainly can't find factor pairs of 1 that add up to negative 4. So this is we're going to have to use to find the x-intercepts. To find the x-intercepts, you're going to have to use the 0 function on your calculator. So the x-intercepts, you need to use the zeros function on your calculator. And I believe that's under the trace button. So when we do that on my calculator, my zeros, or my x-intercepts, were 3.732 and 0 and 0.268 and 0. So those were the x-intercepts. And the y-intercept is easy to find. The y-intercept is just a positive 1. So Multiple choice question 1, identify the vertex of the following function f of x equals the quantity x minus 2 squared plus 3. And then number 2, find the y-intercept. So I'm not sure what that says on your paper, but I'm going to guess that this right here is probably a negative. So, yep, I was right. So this should say f of x equals negative x plus 2 squared. You need to find the y-intercept, which means you need to change it into standard form. So again, don't forget to put your answers in the Google form, and if you have any questions, put those there as well too. So here is the secret question for tonight. Somewhere on my website is information about me. The first person to come to class tomorrow and tell me what my favorite beverage is will get a lollipop. So yeah, you have to find that on my website somewhere. Have a good night.